sometimes if I open a screen, then the whiteboard gets covered, like something like that. All right. We are live on YouTube. I guess they heard the first part of the conversation. And okay, going to here it is. All right, hello everyone. It's our weekly podcast. My name is Ranella, and I'm co-founder with Sanchita for GLEx2020 Global Language Exchange Community, established in 2020. And I've been studying Korean for almost 2.5 years, and there's just so many sources from which to learn Korean, and it becomes really overwhelming to figure out what to study from sometimes. And we created a daily study session, and even still, we have so many sources to choose from. And during our weekly podcast, we tried to pick a script and then study from it and show you our mistakes. So you'll see our progression from where we started until where we are now. And hopefully we continue to do this until we get fluent in Korean.
Hello everyone, this is Sanchita from India. I'm a co-founder of GLEx2020 with Ranella. I met Ranella at LKIK in June 2020 when we didn't know how to speak Korean. So we started talking to each other on Messenger call at that time and decided to make it a podcast overnight. And we wanted to, just a minute. Yeah, we wanted to record our mistakes and we still do, but we have so many sessions that there's just too much of mistakes. So yeah, we've been attending a lot of sessions. We have many different teachers as well on board, and we are planning to get more teachers for everyone. So we just need more participation from all of the members and also from outside. So if you know of anyone who wants to study Korean and they are looking for opportunities, affordable and free as well. So please let them know and send them to our community. Yes. Thank you so much for joining us today.
And our pod squad is here today. Please introduce yourselves.
Okay, I'll go first. Hi everyone, I'm Zarina from Singapore. I've been learning Korean for about 2 years now. And during lockdown last year, I met Ranella on Facebook and then Sanchita on Anchor Podcast, where we practice our Korean together with Rose. And now we're at GLEx 2020 and we are having fun learning Korean together at our own individual pace. 안녕하세요. 저는 자리나입니다. 싱가포르에서 왔습니다. 한국어를 2년쯤 동안 배우고 있습니다. 만나서 반갑습니다.
Hi everyone, I'm Rose from the US. I studied Korean on my own for about 3 years and then met Ranella and Sanchita and joined GLEx 2020. Now I have lots of opportunity to practice speaking Korean. 안녕하세요. 저는 로즈입니다. 미국 사람입니다. 한국어로 3년 좀 동안 혼자 배우고 있었어요. 다음에 라넬라하고 산치타 만나도 GLEx 2020 찾았어요. 요즘 이야기를 한국어로 연습해요.
와, 아주 좋아요. 루시 그리고 자리나 씨. 한국말 아주 잘해요.
네. Feliciano 씨, 자기소개 해주세요.
여러분 안녕하세요. 펠리샤노입니다. 마닐라에서 살고 있습니다. 한국어 공부한 지 3년 되었습니다. 만나서 반갑습니다.
So Feliciano is our teacher. He has been studying Korean for 3 years, but he was very consistent. So now he can also become a teacher. And he's also, from today, we started our Tagalog class. So I think it's a first step towards becoming more global, right? So until now, we just had Korean classes and English as well. But for the first time, we have introduced another Asian language. So thank you so much, Feliciano Sen, for joining us.
감사합니다, Sam.
Okay. So Diana Shi. Diana, can you please introduce yourself?
오케이. 안녕하세요. 저는 디아나입니다. 인도네시아 사람입니다. 만나서 반갑습니다.
네,
반갑습니다.
Robin
Roblin
Shi.
Sam. Roblin Sam, are you there?
She says in the chat box that she can't talk right now.
Okay. Kanchanayo. But Roblin is also one of our more advanced speakers of Korean, and she helps us and teaches us during our daily study session. She hosts the Friday drama script reading. And this month we are working on It's Okay to Not Be Okay. First episode, the story about the girl in the castle. And now my baby is awake, so I'll be on mute on this side. Please
welcome
refer to the please refer to the whiteboard for our topics.
Okay. So we invite you all to our weekly YouTube live streams. Hit the like button on the stream and join the Zoom session. We hear that Koreans love our show because they get to listen to us speak English. So if you are a Korean and want to join us live, the link is in the comment box. So please check that. And today we are going to invite. So today's topic is how to help more students get connected to GLEx2020 activities. So as you all know, we have been doing a lot of activities. These days we have 3 sessions, super beginner, and intermediate. So the problem that it's not a problem actually, but as we grow, we are trying to get more participants join us. So we have come up with a few activities that will get us more participants, more members, right? So I guess, Ranila, I would need your help. We discussed this last time, right? We recognize that it takes some privilege to be able to study online, right?
Yes, that's actually really true. The before our GLEx started, I looked at a lot of different options because I wanted to study Korean. I was studying on my own, and it's not offered at my local university. And when I looked online, I did find some options, remote options, that were just incredibly expensive, and it was very discouraging. And I think that there's many people that want to learn, and many people who are very self-motivated to learn on their own as well. But you really need that human contact to learn a language. I mean, that's the point. It's communicating with another human. So I think that this really fills a hole in that whole scenario. A lot of people, as you can see, so many people have joined that, there's a need.
Mm-hmm. So actually, as we see, there are many communities online and there are many classes as well. So what we were like, many of them try to attract their members by posting memes or some sort of general content, right? So yesterday we were discussing about this, that how can we get more attention from people who want to study Korean, but we are not able to reach them because the Facebook algorithm does not work that way, right? So we only put out a post, like a few posts a week, like just because they are informative, right? But there are people out there who are using memes to get more attention. So we have come up with a lot of activities that will be they will be informative as well, but also like entertaining kind of.
Right.
So yeah. So yeah.
I saw
Yeah, it is.
on Instagram that you've made some addition to the name
Right,
GLEx20. You
right,
had
right.
Korean, yes.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Uh, but I was just wondering whether what you posted was something to do with, I think it was a grammar point of
Right.
something. Yes. How about posting the activities that GLEx is organizing on Instagram? Things like looking for GLEx facilitators, the various GLEx sponsored programs. Will you be posting those up on Instagram
Yeah, yeah. We'll be
That
doing
would
that.
probably work better in stories, right?
or Insta
The
stories?
in
Ah,
stories, because then when people see stories, they usually click on it, as opposed to the main Instagram
I
account
see.
where they interact more with it. So over there is grammar points and sentences, and then they can ask questions and stuff like that.
Okay.
The
While
only
story,
thing to be aware of with the stories is they disappear after 24 hours.
right? That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So
that's
it has to
something
be
that,
like a week-long campaign.
and there's still a lot of people. I mean, Instagram's been around for a long time, but there's still people who tell me, where are these things coming from? I'm like, Instagram stories. It's on the story. They're like, I looked at this person's Instagram and I didn't find this post that you're seeing is from them. I'm like, it was in their story. And so
Okay.
I would be careful about using that for your most important information because it disappears quickly. And sometimes people just don't check. I mean,
Yeah. I think it's good to do both. I mean, you have it in
yeah,
the main, and then you can kind of like reinforce or kind of be to joke people. So I noticed
yeah,
that's what some of the many other Korean language websites do. They will have both.
right, right.
Yeah,
We're
but it's
also
good.
thinking
I mean,
about
I
this.
was glad to see that that you've
Yeah.
done that, because I think then once people start searching
Right, right.
for when they search for Korean or Korean language, the GLEx will pop up.
Right. Thank you so much for the suggestion. So
Something you can do with the stories, if you make a post initially, that will stay on there forever, right? But then you can make a story that links to the back to the post.
Yeah.
So if you want to say newsflash, hey, let's bring this up again, let's bump this, then that's how you can do it.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, thank you
That is
for
a
the
good start.
tips. These are things I don't know. Actually, you know how I got into Instagram is because of Sanchita, because I saw her posting her notes from my Korean journal. And I saw her handwriting and I was like, oh my God, that's so amazing. And then I started following her on there. And then, a week or two later, we came up with GLEx2020 podcast.
Mm.
Um, I just wanted to remind us of the time. Let's do the script reading first and then go back to the topic, to the
Okay.
conversation topics, free talking topic.
okay. So Zarina and Rose.
Okay. 잠시만요. Let's get in character. 오빠, 네 가방을 들어주면 안 돼요?
싫어. 내가 왜?
무거우니까 싫어. Oh, sorry, wait. There's 남자 twice.
Oh,
아,
oh,
맞아요?
무거우니까 싫어.
음. 오빠, 미워요. 우리 헤어지자.
그래, 헤어지자 뭐.
Oh my god. That is so funny.
Wait, take
We got
two,
into
and then take two. Remember that two lines here
Two lines. Okay, let's
are 남자.
take two. 네, okay. Okay. 오빠, 네 가방을 들어주면 안 돼요?
싫어. 내가 왜? 무거우니까 싫어.
오빠, 미워요. 우리 헤어지자.
그래, 헤어지자 뭐.
Okay, 잘했어요. Now with the translation, can you guys do that? We don't have translation here today, but are you able to do it on the fly?
Sure. 오빠, 네 가방을 들어주면 안 돼요? 오빠. How do I say 오빠?
Oppa.
Yeah,
오빠. Aren't you gonna carry my bag for me?
I don't want to. Why me? It's heavy. I don't want to.
오빠, I hate you. Let's break up.
All right. Well, let's break up.
I love this script. You know why? We made this up earlier today during our daily study session. Robin Sam just wrote it all up in the chat box, and I'm like, I'm copying that for the podcast.
Yeah,
So
this is
thank you,
fun
Robin
because you
Sam,
can put a
for-
lot of emotions in it. Yeah,
Absolutely,
Yeah.
right?
내가 왜?
Yeah.
내가 왜?
Yeah, that's my favorite, right? 네가 왜?
내가 왜? I know. I thought of you, Sarina. I was like, oh yeah.
All of
That's
our favorite
fun.
expressions in one
Yeah.
dialogue.
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
so then, question?
No question.
네. So Rose will be Yoja. Who was which? Yes, Rose will be
Feliciano.
Yoja this time, and Feliciano Sam will be Namja.
Okay. 오빠, 내 가방을 들어주면 안 돼요?
싫어. 내가 왜?
Continue.
무슨 무거우니까 싫어.
오빠, 미워요. 우리 헤어지자.
그래, 헤어지자 뭐.
I love it so much. Okay, then Feliciano Sam will be Yoja, and then Diana will be Namja.
오빠, 내 가방을 들어주면 안 돼요?
싫어. 내가 왜? 무거우니까 싫어.
오빠 미워요. 우리 헤어지자.
그래, 헤어지자 뭐.
And then Yoja will be Diana, and then Roblin. Sam, if you're available, are you still
Not
not
here.
available? Oh,
No, she's
I think she's not here.
not here. Okay, so then Diana, and then Sanchita,
okay.
you be Namja.
오빠, 내 가방을 들어주면 안 돼요?
싫어. 내가 왜? 무거우니까 싫어.
오빠, 미워요. 우리 헤어지자.
그래, 헤어지자 뭐. Oh my god, I'm so classic.
잘했어요. Then you be Yoja, I'll be Namja.
Okay. 오빠, 내 가방을 들어주면 안 돼요?
싫어. 내가 왜? 무거우니까 싫어.
오빠, 미워요. 우리 헤어지자.
그래. 헤어지자 뭐. This is so fun.
Yeah,
Too bad the writer of the script can't join us today. Hey,
Yeah.
you wanna
She
practice?
should be
You
here.
say this one. 싫어, 내가 왜? 싫어. He wants to press the buttons. Okay, I will mute myself and you guys continue.
I think it's supposed to be you and me now, right?
Mhm.
It's Ranella and me.
네. I will
So
be
you are
Yoja.
Yoja. You are Yoja.
오빠, 내 가방을 들어주면 안 돼요?
싫어. 내가 왜? 무거우니까 싫어.
오빠, 미워요. 우리 헤어지자.
그래. 헤어지자 뭐.
Oh my God.
You're ready to be in a drama now. I mean, gosh.
I think Feliciano should have the Namja role and then each one of us practice.
Yeah,
This guy. So do you guys want to practice again with Feliciano Sam being Namja and then
it's up to him.
it's up to you. You have a lot of work.
I'm currently working on the yesterday's Anki because yesterday I forgot to do it.
Oh.
Huh?
That's why I divide my attention between this Zoom and yesterday's Zoom.
싫어.
Oh, you're a
Sure.
busy man.
I'm
헤어지자.
time traveling.
There. Is it Papa Sayo?
Um,
Papayo.
Paposeo.
Sayo.
I still don't know the like honorific talking about a person conjugation. 괜찮아요. We'll get there one
It's
day.
okay. As for me, I'm reluctant to use it with adjective.
Got you.
But for verbs, I'm used to it a little bit.
Something to work on for us. Okay, so now that we've done the script, did anybody else want to retry it, practice it again?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Or translate it.
Sarina and Rose translated it earlier.
Okay.
Shall we put it in English? Like type it up, you mean?
Maybe. Mugawanika.
Is that right?
Icebreaker. Correct. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, looks good.
Screenshot.
I think usually when they say like crack, heojijamo, the more I think it's more like so what? It's like, yeah, sure, just pick up.
So
So
what?
what? So what? You know?
So
I think
what?
so. It can be whatever, but I think it can also be so what?
What are you doing?
Yes, I think it's possible that it's so what
Mm.
more.
He's pulling my shirt. Okay, now back to the topic that we were talking about regarding studying Korean online.
Mm.
Sanchita, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
I don't know. I find that sometimes, like when I share in some
Hmm.
chat groups,
Hmm.
some Korean language chat groups, and some of them will talk about, does this chat group offer, do we learn Korean or whatever it is? And then when I
Hmm.
post, when I share GLEx, free classes,
Right.
somehow I'm not sure about what, I don't know why it's not, taken up for some reason.
Yeah. So they
Yeah.
actually, it's like, when they have memes and all. So I think those posts get more attention. That's what I think. Not really sure how that works, how the Facebook algorithm works. So we were actually thinking that we can create such posts as well, but we will need more volunteers to do that. So if someone is maybe a fan of a celebrity, right? So they are also people have biases, from their favorite K-pop groups, right? So maybe they can create something like that, and through that they can teach language, right? So we also know of some fan groups, right? I mean, we know of some fans, so we can also conduct sessions for them if they want a session particularly to study language, just because they have a favorite actor, right? So we can have a session conducted for them, specific for them. So that's what we were thinking about yesterday. But we need a lot of work for that, and we need more support, because if there are people who want specific content, then we'll have to get them on board and then get all those things from them, right? Because until now, oh yeah,
What's this?
oh, this is good.
Huh?
This is
But
like a fan post, you know.
you mean you want to use celebrities to grab attention?
So basically, when we promote to different Facebook groups, we will teach them how to create their own Canva images that they can share. And then when they share, they can link back to GLEx 2020, who taught them how to make these things, and say, hey, if you want to study with native Korean teachers, you can go to GLEx 2020. So we have, so we show them how to make something like this, which is basically this is the template. So the title of what you want to say, related image to what it is, and then a text in your target language. Whether if you're Korean, you write in English. If you're learning Korean, you write in Korean. And then we have people, volunteers, who will check your script for you, or you keep it with all your mistakes. And then if you like corrections, we can mark it up and show you the correction without changing your text, like mark it up with a pen, annotate on it. like circle something that like this is wrong, you change it into, and then give suggestion, or this, something like that. Just a moment.
So
But
there
one
are
of
people
the
who.
one of the comments, like I mentioned that this is very affordable. Uh, it's like the one that you just promoted, the super begin is it beginners course, which is like $2 per hour,
Right.
$30 per month kind of thing.
Right.
So they were interested, and then they said that, oh, how is it conducted? I said, oh, you'll be on Zoom, and then it just stops there. It's like, oh, I don't really think Zoom is going to work.
That's not
Things
the
like that.
people we want.
Yeah.
Those
So
people are going to be lazy students anyway. Like when people have so many excuses why they can't do something, then it's like, you know what? I don't think this is the right program for you, because the people that we have, we are all self-studiers, right? We all study on our own. We find our own resources, and then we get together at GLEx. And
We are kind of
our
self-driven.
teachers are volunteer teachers. So, if a student is kind of lazy, then they're not a good fit for GLEx 2020.
yeah. So anyway, I
Yeah.
mean, all I can do is I just share. It's really up to them. Uh,
Mm.
since they ask about Korean lessons. So
Right.
I'm like, okay, so you can consider this. If you want more details, more information, please check out GLEx2020.com, whatever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so that's what I got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think people, I mean, by now, if you're ever going to be comfortable with Zoom, I mean, okay, everyone hates to be on screen except for those people who chose that profession, which is most of us not.
Right.
So, but the thing is, like, the hardest thing of language learning is talking. It's real time talking.
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's what makes people nervous, but you will never be able to truly learn the language unless you do that,
Exactly.
And so,
Communication is the
and
myth.
this is the hard thing to find. And so
Mm-hmm.
this, I mean, some people aren't going to want to do it, but
Mm-hmm.
for those that do, this is really a hard to find resource. So I
Mm-hmm.
think we just need to keep telling people about it. I've told a few people, like, it came up, language learning came up or whatever, and I've told a few people about it, and some people have told me, the cost is really a big factor for them, and I'm like, well, you should go here then. And and I mean, it might take mentioning more than once with people. Usually it's not just one time, they have to hear about it a little bit, and they're like, oh, I keep hearing about that, I think I'll go check it out. So I wouldn't necessarily give up after one time, because sometimes, people, they hear about it, they compare to other things, and then they circle back around and they're like, oh yeah, I think I'll check that out.
Mm-hmm. I think communication is the most important part in language learning, because why are we learning language anyway? To communicate, right? So
Right.
that's the most important part. So even if you study for more than 1 year or 2 years, if you don't know how to speak, right, it makes no sense. So
Right.
maybe if you want it for a degree or something, then that is a different part. But for us, we want to be able to communicate in Korean because we love the language, and we want to know about the expressions, and we want to know what our actors, what our favorite actors are saying. So I think we need more people to understand this, right? Get out of their own shell. Everyone is making mistakes here. It's not like if they
Right.
make mistakes, they'll be judged for it, right? So
Right.
we all are into this together. That's why, I think this platform is right for everyone, because all of us can make mistakes together. It's not like someone is teaching you and then you're just, um, you know, you're just learning
Fail.
it. Not like
Right.
that, yeah.
Mm.
So we all are doing this together. All our struggles are same, right? So yeah, but I do believe that it will take some time. But we need better advertising. That's why we came up with such topics, because there are many people who want to learn Korean, but they don't know, they cannot find our content, right? So that's why if you have maybe a team of 4 or 5 people. I'm not really sure, but they can just post these things, on internet, right? And these are general posts. These are not like something that you need to know Korean. You just need. There are so many people who just know oppa or sarange, words like those, right? So I think even if they want to learn more than that, then they can join us. So we need to tell them that this is the platform that you can learn at.
So we're coming up with templates so that we can share with people who would like to share GLEx 2020 with others. So that way you just copy paste, and add your own image or add your own, study material or something like that. And then you share it. And then it's up to them whether to click on those links or not. And if it's for a group that doesn't allow for links, then we just find us on Facebook, GLEx 2020 page. And then they type in GLEx 2020 and it comes up in the search bar on Facebook. So it will make everything hopefully uniform and easy for everybody. Um,
Right.
and that would be one of the helpful advertising campaigns that we could do. Like if we as the pod squad um, make an effort to like share what we do, like even on Fridays, like, hey, pod squad on Fridays, join us on Facebook, I mean, sorry, YouTube live. And then they can see our YouTube, they can subscribe to our channel and then have notification for our YouTube live streams. So thanks, guys, for being here today. That's all our time for our Friday podcast. Really appreciate you guys joining every single week. And hopefully, we'll have more Koreans join us, promote their channels, promote their businesses, speak to us in Korean. Because, like, really, the main point of our podcast was that we wanted to connect with Koreans and speak in Korean, right? Spontaneously. But we're not there yet. But how can we get there? By having more Koreans join us. So I'm glad that they like our English speaking uh, podcast, and that they get to, this is their listening comprehension exercise. But we would also like to have some speaking opportunities with Korean natives. So thanks, everybody. This is GLEx 2020 podcast. See you next week. Same
Thank
time.
you.
Bye. Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Good night,
Bye.
everybody.
Good night.
Thank you. Good
Bye.
night.
Good night.